This video is for a DIY hanging herb garden. I used a 3-tier iron metal basket from World Market. You're going to need to start by lining your baskets with a green moss. This moss is known from coming from bogs before it is harvested, compressed, and imported for the use in the floral industry. You can purchase yours at home improvement stores, floral shops, and I got mine at a local nursery. If you live in a wetter part of the world, I live in Washington State, known for drizzly rain, you can find this moss growing all over in your yard. You can harvest your own just by simply pulling it up. When lining your basket, just make sure that the part of the moss that was touching the ground touches the soil in the hanging basket. Instead of harvesting the moss from my yard, I just decided to use the moss from the bag. It is more dried and compressed, so just fit it around in the basket the best that you can. After you've placed the moss around your basket and filled in all the holes, just make sure you press it against the sides of the basket before you fill with soil. I just used a normal potting soil that I had laying around the house. And when filling the baskets with the soil, I worked from the biggest basket up to the smallest. I stacked them into each other as I went. It was easiest to stay organized this way so dirt wasn't spilling everywhere while I juggled around with the baskets that are attached to each other with the wire. The herbs I chose were mostly Mediterranean style herbs because these are what I use most often in my cooking. Mediterranean and Italian foods are my favorite foods to prepare, cook, and eat. This basil plant smells amazing and I can't wait to make pestos with it. I used a mixture of already established plants and seed packets in my basket, so just make sure you read the back of the tags and they'll help you with different care directions. I planted the basil on the top because I wanted to give it the most room to grow. I use it the most when I cook and I want it to be easily accessible. Also, and most importantly, basil does the best in full sun. Oregano is planted on the bottom mostly because of the size and spacing of my baskets. You harvest it when it is 6 inches tall, so you don't have to worry about it growing too tall for the bottom basket. On the second layer or tier, I put some thyme seeds and also the rosemary and sage, because all complement each other and need relatively the same amount of care. And the biggest and the best, basil on the top. This spot is too shady, so I had to move these baskets to the back in full sun. Just remember to water when they feel dry. Thanks for watching.